Okay, now that we've installed R, let's install RStudio, our interface to code in R. You'll see why it's different, and it's a bit better than R when in terms of coding. Most of the users today use RStudio to code and not base R because of that. So here, I'm just going to hit in Google RStudio, download, and this will take us to some links that will be extremely interesting for us to download. Again, I'm leaving the tutorial for Windows, but for Mac or Linux, I'll leave some links in the resources so that you can also install R in those systems. So now that we're here, let's go for the first link, download the RStudio IDE. And here, let's see, we have here RStudio Desktop, which is the free version that we are interested in. So I'm going to hit download here. Here is just a question of other versions of RStudio that you can buy, but these are more for enterprises. As I'm assuming that most of you are doing this by yourselves, or at least to work on your computer, we'll use the free version, in this case RStudio Desktop. There's not many differences between these and the other versions. The other versions have more support and are more linked to enterprises. The functionalities of both the free version and the paid version are almost the same, except some extras that you have on the pro version. But for everything that we'll do in this course, the free version is enough. I'm going to download RStudio for Windows. This takes around 156 megabytes of space, so pay attention also to your internet connection so that you can download this and to see if you're not going to have any additional charges in downloading this. This is not a huge file. Most connections will be able to download this without extra charges. And now we are downloading this, as you can see here. I actually clicked twice. I'm going to cancel this one. So this one is now downloading. This is this version 1.4.1717. It's the one that I'm going to use in this course. Similar to R, that doesn't mean that it's the one that you are going to see, but the differences will not be major and it will not impact much the learning process. Okay, so to use RStudio, you need to have R installed. Okay, you can't use one without using the other. Of course, you can use only R without having RStudio installed, but that's not what we are going to do here. But to use RStudio, you need to have R installed. That's why we installed it first. Okay, so after the download finishes, pretty simple. We have here this file, RStudio 141717. We hit it twice so that we open. In this case, if you have Windows asking if you want to allow the following program to make changes, click yes, and then let's go forward to the install process. Okay, so this is it. We are here in RStudio setup. I'm going to click next. I'm going to leave the default folder to install. Take note that this takes around 1 gigabyte of space. I'm going to click next. Here, I'm just going to say RStudio install, and RStudio is being installed in our computer. This should take around 5 minutes. After that, we'll see how we can open RStudio and why this will be our interface to code in R in this course. Okay, so RStudio just finished the install process. I'm going to click finish, and now I'm going to my desktop. You'll notice that you will not have here probably an icon for RStudio. What you need to do is to go for here in Windows and hit search RStudio. And here we'll have RStudio available. Just click the icon or the program in the search, and this will open as RStudio. Then we are going to look at the interface where we are going to code. Okay, so here we are in RStudio. When you open RStudio, you may have 4 or 3 different windows. Let me open up the 4th one, which can be used when you go here and click RScript. And here you're going to open a new 4th window, which is the RScript, where we are going to launch our R commands. Now, here below, this might seem familiar to you. This is exactly the R console that we have seen before when we opened R. So if I do 20 plus 1, I have the returning 21. Here I have the folder structure so that I can navigate in folders. This is also where we are going to see plots in this window. This is the environment where we store the objects, and we are going to see how we can store objects just by running things into the environment. This is where we'll see them and how we can access them. For example, data frames, we can access them by clicking here in the environment, and then we'll see a preview of our table. And this is the most important window where we are going to use our console commands. For example, here, the advantage is that I can send 2 different commands at the same time. For example, 20 plus 1, 25 plus 3. If I go here, I only can send 1 command at a time, 25 plus 3. But if I go here in the RScript console, that's why it's so cool to program here in RStudio, is that I can select all the lines that I want to run and then hit Control or Command in terms of a Mac, plus Enter, and this will give me the 2 lines. As you can see here, this ran the script top to bottom, and we can run everything from a script, for example, creating multiple tables at the same time just by running this script. Okay, so this is where we are going to code in R in this window right here, and then we can run by using this command or control plus enter, or we can also select, let me clear this window, we can also select everything and then hitting run here, and this will also run the code and we'll see both results here in the console. Now these two things do exactly the same, but I like to use the control or command plus enter because it saves me a bunch of clicks of going here to run. We have everything set up to start coding in R. It's that easy. We've just set up two softwares, R and RStudio, and now we can start to program in R in this course, and we can go forward and understand more things regarding R. If you are in the beginner course, then we are going to start by looking at the environment, by looking at everything that this window has with more detail. If you are in an intermediate and for data science course, we'll jump into installing libraries, understanding how we can install external libraries, and then start to code immediately with some libraries, in this case dplyr. Okay, so this was super easy. Let's start with our course and go forward with our lectures. Excited to have you here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to teach you, and feel free to contact me if you have any questions.